Hi, it's Sandra. Welcome to another episode of Asexualized, my asexual life. This is a place to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual, and I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you and yours. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit the great big subscribe button down below right here, right now. Please hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live like now or post a new video. And don't forget, give this video a thumbs up as we go along if you're enjoying the content. If you don't know who I am Sandra Bellamy, author of this beautiful book, Asexual Perspectives. I'm also the founder of asexualise.com and the founder of Asexualise Academy. Welcome to tonight's episode, and I want to say a huge apology to you for not being on my live stream like I usually am yesterday. I'm really sorry about that. I did kind of have a meltdown yesterday, and right, so the morning started off really good. Right, I had a friend who's had some upset though, and she was telling me about that, so that was quite sad. So I said I'd meet up with her, this coming week. And then I talked to an entrepreneur friend, and I told her how great my life was and how happy I was, and everything's going wonderful. And then there was a succession of things that just made my life very difficult yesterday. One of them was my ACE, ACE Fibro girl. So my fibromyalgia self-help handbook, yeah? So I'm known as ACE Fibro girl in conjunction with that. So basically, I've paid someone to do the interior formatting for the print version, right? People are waiting for it, including some asexuals, because some asexuals have fibromyalgia. And so I paid someone to do it, but they haven't done it correctly. And so it's caused a few issues. The PDFs was not too bad, but the source files, which are what I need to edit. So every time as an author, when you get a book back, you first of all, you get a copy for yourself to proofread it again. And you usually find some more spelling errors when it comes back as a print copy, yeah? So you have to correct them. But unless the typeset gives you the source files, you can't edit it yourself, which means you've got to pay them more money to edit it. So I specifically said to this guy, can you give me the source files with it? Is that included in the deal which I pay for? To which he replied, yes, it is. But the problem he didn't tell me was the PDF comes out mostly okay, but there was some changes he needed to make to it. But the source files don't. The chapters are all on the wrong pages. Their parts are all on the wrong pages. And so I spent 6 hours yesterday trying to work out if I could do it myself and solve all the problems. I just can't, because that's what I'm meant to be paying him for, So I was really stressed. And the night before, I'd done 5 hours worth of corrections that he needed to do. It's like 22 corrections in the source file that he needed to sort. And I'm not supposed to be doing that. I've got other things to do. Like I've got my Asexual Guide to Sex book that I need to go through with my interviewees. And I've got my Asexual Meetup Mastery course that I'm doing for my Asexualise Academy that some people want to buy. I've got someone who wants to buy it because they just started arranging meetups and they need my help. So and that's a very extensive course. I did over 4 hours of videoing the week before last with that, and then I've just done another nearly hour of video recording today as well. So there's a lot of work that goes into courses. Do you know what I mean? It's not easy. And so like last night, the typesetting thing was just a problem, because all the corrections I'd spent 5 hours going through, screenshotting everything for him. He just ignored them and sent me the files back that were faulty again, saying he changed them. But he might have changed them, but the changes were still faulty. Even the chapter headings on the PDF were no longer in alignment all the time, and they were. So that was worse than it was before. So I got very stressed yesterday, and then I had some things that triggered me from past childhood memories. Like I've moved on a lot from my childhood. I've done really well. I did what you call a cognitive reframe. So if you didn't know what a cognitive reframe is, it's like going back to your past and reframing it as a different situation. Oh, by the way, you might notice my hair's a bit wet because I've just come out the shower and I haven't even dried it yet. But I knew that I needed to do this live stream for you because I didn't want to miss it, because I missed last night, which isn't like me, as you know. And so, and sorry about the train as well. I've got my window wide open because it's really hot in here. I live near a train. Hi, my life. Lovely to see you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Sorry I wasn't here yesterday. So what I've done is, in terms of my childhood, I've done what you call a cognitive reframe, because I had a lot of trauma in my childhood, where I've just gone back and I've remembered what it was like, but I put in my head that I had to live all through that trauma in order to help the people on this channel and the other people that I need to help in this world. And if I hadn't gone through the abuse and the trauma I'd experienced, I wouldn't be able to help you guys with it. So that's how you reframe the past, because otherwise it just repeats and repeats and repeats, as you know, all the bullying, the loneliness, the pain. It just was getting too much, and I wasn't able to reframe it till like the end of last year, which is 2018. I had a lot of problems when I was a kid too. Oh, bless you. And they do, these problems, they do stay with you a very long time. And well, I thought I was doing so well. I was just talking to someone only yesterday morning saying how great it was I'd done this cognitive reframe. I realized now my past had to be the way it was, even though it was hurtful and painful, in order to help you guys on this channel and everywhere else that I, you know, help people. And obviously predominantly I help asexuals more than anyone in the world. You know, and so that's how I did it. But yesterday, someone spoke to me and it just triggered these childhood memories that were horrible for me. It triggered like feeling left out, feeling excluded, being bullied and no one sticking up for me. And see, I used to stick up for other people at school who were being bullied, but and I did have one friend actually who did stick up for me. So my so-called best friend at school, she wasn't really a best friend. She used to you know, be friends with the people that were, some of the people that were nasty to me. And so I had to kind of accept that she's my friend, but she's got other friends, and if she likes them, that's fine. But really, it doesn't feel fine to me, you know? And I used to stick up for other people that were bullied. And there was just one person who stuck up for me, who I wasn't best friends with. Oh, thank you, my life. Love you to bits. And I wasn't best friends with her at the time, but I'm still friends with her now since primary school, because I will always, always, always remember that she stuck up for me when my so-called best friend at the time didn't. I feel like my heart's always like indebted to her in that way. You know, I always feel like I'm so grateful and thankful she was the only one who stuck up for me. And so, you know, I find it very difficult when I have friends, and I think that if someone else is upsetting me because my friends are more passive than me, they want to keep the peace, they're more quieter people, they wouldn't stick up for me in a situation where I feel I'm being bullied, or I feel that I'm, you know, I feel that someone's not being nice to me. Like, it would be nice if they stepped in and said, hang on a minute, I think you're being a bit harsh towards Sandra, you know? And so that really triggered it for me, because it's like, well, oh, thank you, my life. You're lovely. Thank you. And usually I'm really strong, you know, I stick up for myself a lot. I'm very outspoken, which is why not everyone likes me, because I am outspoken. Even though I'm a really nice person, I'm very outspoken. And I am strong-minded, you know? And I think sometimes as well, when it's situations with guys, with women as well, I think some guys are intimidated by a strong woman who does speak her own mind sometimes, you know? But it's just that I have such incredible friends, don't get me wrong, but I just feel like it'd be nice sometimes if they were like, hang on a minute, this person hasn't been nice to my best friend, or to my really good friend, or to this friend that I really have known for a lot longer, or who I adore and look up to. This person hasn't been nice to them. Then maybe they're not such a nice person as I think they are, as they're portraying to me. And see, that's the problem. And it's also a gift, is that I can see when someone is not such a nice person as they make out, but other people can't see it. And it's like, hang on a minute, that person's not being nice to me. There's no need for them to speak to me that way. There's no need for them to be horrible to me that way. You know, and it's very difficult, because obviously other people, that person hasn't been horrible to that person. So there's no reason for them to not like them in their dynamic. There's no reason to not think they're great in their dynamic. But do you see what I mean? I tend to look at a person not just in my dynamic, but how they treat other people as well around them, not just me, if you know what I mean. So I'm not saying that I'm not saying that the the things that triggered me. I'm not saying every person is really bad or anything, but it's just like, you know, there's something that upset me a little while ago, and it would have been nice if someone had said something like, I think you're being a bit harsh, you know, like she was sharing her personal opinion, but you know, no one said that. So that was a bit, you know, like, that was a bit like, if I thought about it, that was a bit upsetting. And then it's like, you know, other people are thinking this person's brilliant, and I'm thinking, well, clearly they're not really, because they're only good when everyone will bow down to them, listen to them, and no one's being strong or talking up for themselves. If they're the ones doing all the talking and everyone else is just going along with it, they're fine. But if someone says something and they're not in agreement, you know, and this, you know, things have gone on where someone's just purposely been disagreeing with me at times, and it's like, whatever I say, it doesn't matter, you're just gonna disagree with me anyway. But you know, in life you have to try and be detached from these circumstances, and you have to think, well, they've got issues, they've got problems, or that's their life. If they want to, you know, speak to me that way, I don't have to let it affect me. And but sometimes it does, you know, as much as you wished it didn't, sometimes it's like boom, and that's what happened yesterday. And I started crying, and then I carried on crying, and you know, it was just like three things was really on my mind. One was the Fibro book, because I'd like, you know, I just want to be able to get a typesetter that just can do the work for me, that I can work with in the future, because I've got my Asexual Guide to Sex book, as you know, that's going to be, hopefully I want to get it out for Christmas, right? But I will need a typesetter to help me with that. And every time I come across the print version, it's always a problem or an issue so far. Well, it's only been my Asexual Perspectives book and this book, so there's only two. But I just want to get someone I can work with on future books, because then once I've got someone who's good, who understands my style, who exactly my requirements and what I want, then I can just you know, pay them each time to do it for me, and know that I'm going to get a good job, and then I can just make more and more books. Because you know, you guys, I want to create more books for you. I want to keep pumping out books for you. I want to keep, you know, reaching a global audience with the voice of asexuals. And it's very frustrating is the word for me. Very, very frustrating when I'm spending hours trying to solve some issues. I mean, you know, he did do one PDF which was almost correct, you know, but I know there's going to be spelling errors that I need to correct later on, and the source file is completely different in terms of, it's got so many errors in compared to the PDF. So once I paid him the money, once the book comes back from Amazon.com 3 or 4 weeks later, and I know I've got spelling corrections to do because I'm bound to have them, then I'm not going to be able to edit it, because a PDF is uneditable. And if you try to change it into an editable document, which I did do yesterday, all the formatting just goes off it. So, you know, that's frustrating for me. And also because, you know, I want to help you guys more and more. And I want to just be able to go to a person and say, this is what I want, everything be done like that, and it's like, yes, and then the next book we can work on, you know, because I love writing. Editing's harder for me because editing's not my favorite thing to do, but the typesetting of the print version I can't do myself, and I used to doing everything myself as well, which is what makes it more frustrating, because I want to be able to rely on another person to do a good job, you know. So that was hard. And then, yeah, someone said something to me that just triggered two things at once. They triggered two childhood issues they triggered all at the same time. And they didn't mean to. They didn't even know they'd done it. Because it's not their fault. It's my issue. But do you know what I mean? It's just like, I thought I got over all of that childhood stuff, and they all came flooding back. And I was remember that, I was trying to analyze my feelings, because what you've got to do if you're trying to progress in your life and develop yourself and grow yourself, because obviously everything like this is a growing and learning experience about yourself, even though it's upsetting at the time. So yeah, I always reflect, and I'm like, well, what's the issue here, Sandra? What's the actual issue? And the issue is I feel excluded, and the issue is I feel that no one sticks up for me a lot of the time. They're so passive. And they're so because they don't want to upset anyone, so they'll be passive. So they would rather just the person carry on upsetting me, because that's fine, they haven't done anything to them, and they say nothing. And I'm just like, do you know what I mean? It's just, to me, it's just like, I find it very difficult to get on so much with passive people, if you know what I mean. Exactly. And I know not everyone's like me. I know there's a lot of people that want to keep the peace in the world, and I won't do that. But then if I wasn't the type of person I was, I wouldn't be doing this channel, because if all I wanted to do was keep the peace, I mean, you can imagine, I wouldn't do this channel, because am I here to keep the peace? No, because I'm here to say it like it is and to help you guys out. And if I was here to keep the peace, I'd do nothing, because, like if I talk about asexuals that do want to have sex or want to try it, then obviously I upset all the people that are sex repulsed and that don't want to try sex and think it's gross. I want to keep the peace, but some situations call for action. Exactly. And so it's really difficult. It is difficult. Like I guess I've never been one to keep the peace. I don't think I've ever been one to keep the peace. And when you're around people that are very passive and very want to please everyone to like them and just keep the peace, and it's fine because it's who they are, but it's like, really, if you're not actually upsetting anyone, are you really being your true authentic self? Because no, not really. Because in order to not upset anyone, you have to change yourself like a chameleon to all different situations. It's impossible not to upset someone sometimes. Exactly, my life, and on this channel, I know that sometimes some people, I got it was indeed, thank you. I know sometimes some people will be upset. I mean, the people that I talk about, when I talk about Asexual Guide to Sex book, the people that really need that book, they'll be like, oh, come on, when's it coming out? I really need it now. I've met this person, they're sexual, and I don't know what the hell I'm doing. They'll be like, come on, I keep hearing about this book, when's it coming? And other people will be like, why the hell is she going out about a book to do with sex for asexuals? That's disgusting. I'm sex repulsed. What the hell is she doing? I thought she was on asexual side. And you can, I can kind of see, even though I don't know for definite they're saying that, I can kind of pretty much assume that that's what's going on in their heads. Because I'm a person who used to have sex in the past, asexual person who used to have sex, and then I'm a person who's also personally sex repulsed specifically for me, not for other people. And so I can kind of see how I would feel in their position in both situations. One, I really, really begging for the book. Like I'd be, dating a sexual person and thinking, God, maybe I do want to try sex. Maybe I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm asexual. I don't know whether it's too much pressure, but then I kind of want to try it because maybe I want to give it a go and I don't know what the heck I'm doing. And, which is what this book's for. And then they really appreciate it. They really want it now, like in their lap, like give it me now. And then the other people will be like, I don't know what she's doing this for. Because I run, one of my groups I run on Facebook is a no sex dating group for asexuals. And I post these videos in all my groups, including the one that's no sex. So you can imagine when they see videos sometimes about I'm talking about some sex stuff on this channel, they're probably like, oh no, not again. In my pack, I had to kick out a dear friend of mine to keep peace in the pack. I'm still friends with them, but they're no longer in my pack. I couldn't let them tear the pack apart. That's a really difficult one, isn't it? I'm not really a pack person. I'm more of an individualist. It's hard. It's hard. Did you take the action because that friend was being bad to other people? Or did you take that action because that person didn't fit in with the others? That's what I would ask the question. Because if you know what I mean, because if I personally took an action to remove someone from a group because I was worried about what the rest of the group felt, then I wouldn't be doing the right thing by that person. I would be too worried about what everyone else thinks and not caring enough about that person. If I was doing it because of the whole of the group was upset and this one person was upsetting the rest of the group, then I would have done the right thing. So it's hard, isn't it, to know what's right and wrong. They had a high ego and it was getting in the way. They thought they were better than the others. Yeah, fine. I understand. It's too much, isn't it? It's hard though, because a lot of the people that have got high egos are really full of insecurities, aren't they, and stuff like that. But yeah, it's like I was saying about, I don't know if you watched, were you on that episode where I came back from the nightclub and I was saying those guys at the nightclub, they're so egotistical, right? They sit there like a pretty boy waiting for the women to come and save them. I had to solve a fight. Being an alpha can be hard. Yeah. Yeah, it's hard. I mean, I don't tend to it's only since my last job, I don't have it anymore, I was made redundant, but I was working in a retail store for 5 years in a huge department store. And it's only when I worked in that retail store that I began to be okay in groups. I couldn't do groups. I used to be a one-to-one person constantly. I couldn't be in a group. Groups just didn't suit me. Apart from at college, I could be in a group with 2 guys, but 2 women, no, it just didn't work. So occasionally I could be with 2 guys. But what I think why I like foreign guys so much is that I stayed on a year after my A levels to do a personal assistance course, and there was these guys in my class, and they were Asian. And I was really good friends with one of them called Baki, and I managed to find him on LinkedIn. Was it last year? I think it was. And he looks so much older now. I mean, look, he literally looks like an old man. I know he was older than me at the time, but I mean, seriously, if you compare me to him, he looks like 30 years or more older. He looks really old. And he's got wife and kids now, but I wanted to try and track him down because he was such a good friend to me at college. He used to bring me gifts back from his country, and he was so kind to me. We used to talk a lot, and he was Asian, which is nearly pretty much Indian, isn't it? Well, Indians are called Asians as well, so it gets a bit confusing because Chinese are called Asians. So, but yeah, he had beautiful coloured skin, but was really intelligent, really lovely to talk to. And I think that is why I've got such an affinity with foreign guys, because I was 19 in birth certificate age at the time, and I just got on so well with him, and the foreign guys were good in my class. I really liked them, and he brought me a tape back of love songs from his country. One was called Habibi, which means my love, and he taught me about 5 words of what was it? Was it Persian you? I can't remember. There's 5 words of Habibi means my love. It was 5 words that were Indian, I think, or something. I don't know if they're Indian or Middle Eastern, but yeah. So he taught me these 5 words, and I was like, wow. And I just always remembered him. And so I really wanted, because I lost in touch with him, and I really wanted to find him. I couldn't find him anywhere on Facebook, but I managed to find him on LinkedIn. And yeah, so we don't speak very often because his life is completely different to mine now. And I guess people move on, but it was just so comforting to know he's still alive and got wife and kids. And it was just really good. Something I needed to do, And so that was really quite cathartic, I think. But I think that's why I've always had affinity with foreign guys, because they've always been kind to me. I'm getting a cookie BRB back. I'm getting a cookie back. What's a cookie back? What's a cookie BRB? I don't know what a cookie cookie. Oh, you're gonna get a cookie and come back. Oh right, okay, get a cookie. What flavoured cookies? I used to be able to eat cookies, chocolate chip. I left for a bit. Oh right, gosh, you're back quickly. So what was I talking about? Oh yeah, I was talking about the meltdown. So yeah, yesterday, like last night, I was in tears quite a lot, and I just thought, oh, chocolate. Oh, I love chocolate. I can't have normal chocolate though because I've got allergies. But so yeah, so I had like this meltdown, and I wanted to tell you kind of how I got out of it, really. So I call it a meltdown because it's like I was just upset, and I just felt like I hadn't got much energy because my energy had been drained from all this book work. It's still ongoing, but today I haven't been on there. And what's happened since then is my Mac is stopping, is hardly working, because I recorded loads of videos to do loads of courses, including my asexual meetup mastery course, which if you've watched my video, I was at the UK asexuality conference last year, and I did a video asexual meetup talk for 45 minutes, a live talk in London. And so when I was doing this talk in London, I went into all about how to arrange an asexual meetup for like beginners. But people in my groups have wanted more in depth than that, which is what I have my Asexualized Academy for, to do courses. There's one free course, which is Asexuality Basics for Beginners on there. But I need to start getting some courses that people will pay for. But I'm making them only the ones that people requested, because I don't want to make them and people don't want to buy them, because there's, like I can be plowing my energy into other things like writing more books for asexuals rather than doing courses. But there are some people that want more in-depth knowledge that, courses will help them with. So there's one friend in particular, and they want to do the asexual meetup mastery, and I've got a lot of it on my iMovie. So my whole Mac is usually what it's like a 650 gigabyte or whatever, and now there's 8 gigabytes for the whole thing on there, and so I have to get all these videos off because I can't even, my Mac stopped working before I did my live stream tonight. It literally packed up because it hasn't got much memory left to actually do anything with. And so unless I spend tonight and like tomorrow getting as much videos edited, finished, uploaded to YouTube, like some of my courses I'm doing, I upload to YouTube and put them on unlisted. So they're just for specific people who buy the course. So people don't know how to get them. And other times I'm upload them to this platform that I'm actually using for the courses. So once they're uploaded, if I delete them, I can't get them back. I tend to back up everything on YouTube because it's a good idea. So even if I let people, even if I put it on private, I've still got a copy of it and I can download it later on because I need to get all this stuff off my Mac and there's loads of videos. So, it's been stressing me out because I've got the Asexual Guide to Sex book. I've got 5 people waiting for me to read their answers. But unless I get this stuff off my Mac, I will have no Mac to even email people with. That's how bad it's getting. My iPad's full as well. So my iPad I'm having problems with on some Facebook issues. And tonight I was trying to get on Facebook on my Mac. That was causing me problems. And like the Mac just decided to completely freeze on me. So I decided I'll go in the shower, have some food, and then hopefully I'll turn the Mac off and hopefully it'll be fine to do my stream tonight. So I'm gonna have to postpone doing the Asexual Guide to Sex book for like a week or something to get all these videos off that's like hours long to clear stuff to put my Mac, because obviously it's asexual awareness month, asexual awareness week next month in October, the end of October, and I want to do a special video for that, you see. I've been thinking about stuff. That's the thing when you're creative as well. It's easier to end up having a meltdown when you're creative because your mind is constantly going boom, new ideas. And it's like I've come up with an idea for asexual perspectives. I keep saying asexual perspectives because that's my book. Sorry, I keep talking about this. Asexual awareness month. It's at the end of October, and I've just been in the shower and thought of a really good video I want to do for it. But unless I got some space to do it, I can't. And I've got courses that I have to finish. I've got a major course that I started. I'm partway through before I even started. Started doing. Well, no, I started doing the asexual meetup mastery a little while ago actually, and then so basically I've got loads of projects that I haven't finished, to cut a long story short. And so one of them's a major masterclass as well. And I'm halfway through that, but I can't do any more to it because my Mac's full. So I basically can't do anything. I got gluten-free, animal milk-free and con-free chocolate cookies, USB stick or DVD drive. Yeah, I've got a DVD drive and I've got a USB stick, but I need it in iMovie to edit it. I have to put it in iMovie. So it doesn't matter if I store it in there, it's got to be in iMovie because I've got to edit it. That's the problem. There's so much in iMovie. If I move the stuff off there, it still doesn't solve the problem. I've got to edit it and I've got to bring it back anyway. Do you see what I mean? So that's why I need to get it all edited, uploaded to different YouTube. There's one that's for a video for my one of my other channels, and that is a major one. I spent over an hour recording that. It's when I got my new printer because that printer is amazing, and so I wanted to do a how to use this, unbox this printer and use it. It's a new printer this year, and it'll save people a ton of money, like over 50% ink. So I did a how-to video, but I've never edited it. So I mean that's over an hour long. I think it's even longer. And so you know what I mean, even if I shift them over, I've still got to shift them back, which doesn't really solve the problem. I'm not getting on and editing them. Do you know what I mean? So I'm gonna have to email the people for my Asexual Guide to Sex book and say I need another week because I've got to sort my Fibro book out with this guy, and until he sorts it out, it's ongoing. You have to reply to each other within so many hours because we do it through a third party. And so after 3 days it's approved anyway, and I don't want it to be approved and then end up left with errors. I might have to get someone else to do it and cancel my order with him, to be quite honest. So it's just like a headache because people want the fibromyalgia print book out, and at the moment I can't get it out. I have to get him to do what I need him to do, or I have to pay someone else to do it and swap. On a happy note, I couldn't stop thinking about my boyfriend today. That's really good. Oh, I have to say I am happy actually. I'm very happy now. So you might want to know how I got over the meltdown. Even though there's tons of stuff going on. I'm glad you couldn't stop thinking about your boyfriend. It's good. I'll think about my imaginary boyfriend. But yeah, so basically I spoke to my mum this morning. So My mum sometimes, is well, my mum's lovely, just that sometimes she is very different to me. But she was really receptive today, this morning. She was really listening to me well, and I felt so much better after I talked to her. So thank you, mum, for that, if she's listening. My dad sometimes watches this channel. To check on me like a naughty girl or something. It's like, oh God, how old am I? Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm 21, going on 15. So yeah. So basically, my mum was really, really brilliant. She listened to what I said. She really understood me. Yeah, she listened to what I said, really understood me, and was really sympathetic, I thought, today. And she made me feel a whole lot better just to be able to talk to her, because I don't, it's really weird because I talk to you guys on this channel, but outside of this channel, I don't really talk. I have anyone like, I like, other than my parents, I don't have anyone to talk to on the phone, for example. Not really. Like, I've got some friends, but mostly they don't really talk on the phone. Do you know what I mean? And so, unless I meet up with them in person messaging, they do some messaging. But sometimes you just want to pick up a phone and speak to a human being voice. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I love online, don't get me wrong. I love it. But sometimes you just want that human connection with the voice. Do you know what I mean? You want to just say lots of stuff, because when you're messaging backwards and forwards all the time, even that can be quite exhausting, if you know what I mean. So if you are in a position where you're upset, in pain, hurt, you kind of just want to like be able to speak to someone face to face. I mostly prefer texting. If I call, I prefer video chats. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I like video chatting as well, but probably not when I'm crying. It's better for me to be on the phone if I'm crying. Do you know what I mean? Like, I haven't been that bad. I haven't been like that, but it's out now. You see, I'm better now. I got it all out at once, and once I spoke to my mum, I felt a whole lot better. She was really supportive today, really understanding. I was very impressed. I feel awkward on a phone with no video chat. One of my friends is the same, actually, but then they did go by phone and they had a great time. So that was surprising for them, I think, because something happened, and I spoke to them on the phone because I needed to. I said, I know you don't like me speaking to you on the phone without video, but I think you need. Yeah, he needed me that time anyway. Well, not he, sorry, they needed me. Pronoun change. So it worked out really well because they were feeling a lot better by the end of the phone call, because I needed to phone them because something happened their end and it was very serious. So yeah, so they were really happy that I phoned them in the end. They thought it was really good and felt a lot better. So I was glad about that. So so I do like in-person contact. I do, because I spend a lot of time in my bedroom here by myself, like all day, not talking to anyone. I am an extrovert, So when you're an extrovert, like when you're an introvert, like when you're out with other people, after a while it can get exhausting, it can zap your energy. But I actually get more energy when I'm out and I'm and I'm around people. And sometimes I just go out to be around people. But it's nice if I'm just like saying things, because it's kind of nice if you just say, I'm able to say something about the problems to someone. Do you know what I mean? Like, I told my mum all the 3 problems basically today, and once I finished speaking to her, I just felt so much better. And then afterwards, to make myself even more better, I watched this video on YouTube, which is a guy I follow, like a spiritual guy, and it was really, really good. And it happened to be all about if someone upsets you. And I'm like, wow, this video is something for me. Hey. And it was all about if someone upsets you and makes you feel like you react a certain way. But he was saying that it's your choice to react that way, which you have control over whether you react to it or not. And that is totally true. And that's what makes it even worse sometimes, is that we can choose how we react and we can choose how we feel, but it's very difficult sometimes when people do affect you, but you've got to try and not let them. But he framed it as in the sense that it was really good, that from a place of self-love, so that if you let a person upset you, it's because you're emotionally attached to them. So try to detach and think, if I let this person upset me and their words affect me, that I'm going to hurt, and I can't do that to myself because I love myself too much to do that. So I reject it and I refuse their bad words or refuse their attitude. And I thought that was just very, very, very good. Very, very good words, I know it's harder to do it in practice though, but he did say it takes a lot of practice to be able to do this stuff. because, you know, as human beings, we do get affected emotionally by people, you know. I mean, some people I don't get affected by emotionally because I'm like, whatever. Because obviously, I get some people on this channel, they come on and start saying horrible things. I just ignore them. Sometimes I just start laughing to myself. I mean, is that all you got? Is that all you got to do with your day? Come and say stuff to me because I'm asexual. That's funny. I thought, it is bad when I daydreamed about me and my boyfriend. Then I dreamt I kissed him. Is it bad? No, it's good. That's real romance for you there. Is it bad that when I daydreamed about my boyfriend that I dreamt I kissed him? No, it's good. That was the first time I couldn't get my boyfriend off my mind the entire day. Wow, that's really good. Yeah, I experience that all the time over a guy. If I like a guy, and it becomes really problematic for me because it's like I can't get him off my mind, like from morning till night, everywhere in between. It's good that you want to kiss him because you weren't sure, I don't think, before, were you? And so I bet he wants to kiss you. He's probably waiting for it. He's probably thinking, oh, when's she going to kiss me? When's she... do you identify as a she? Because I know you're gender fluid. Do you identify as a she or they or them? How do you identify? Because I call you she sometimes, and then I'm like, I don't know if you are a she or if you are a them. I don't know. So obviously I'll call you my life as well. But I like my life. It's a really nice, powerful word that it's like, this is my life and I'll live it exactly how I want to live it. I think it's very empowering. That's why I love your YouTube name. It's really good. I'm okay with any pronouns, but prefer he and they. Okay. You prefer he and they. I have to get used to that. I'm sure I can. But you prefer he. Okay. I can probably remember he more than they, actually. My friend who's changed from a he to a they, I keep getting the pronouns wrong. Like, I try really hard, but then sometimes what I do is I end up calling other people them that say he, because they were a he, and I try to call he now them because they're a them now and they're they. When I'm talking about other people, usually in the same kind of like sentence or the same kind of like paragraphs, you know, wording in the same time, I usually end up calling other people they and them as well. And I'm like, they spoke to them and them spoke to them, and I'm like, I confuse myself, and I'm like, oh, I'm like, no, that's a he, they are them. So yeah, my mind really finds it hard. It either wants to do all or nothing. My mind's a very black and white, all or nothing mind, which again can cause obviously issues in life if your mind's so black and white. My mind's like, that's the way this is, that's the way that is, and it just separates everything like that. So I think that's why I find it difficult as well, because I'm like, I call everyone they them, or I call the he. Do you know what I mean? It's just like my mind just seems to want to do one or the other. I'll get there eventually. Reprogram it takes a while, doesn't it, when you've been used to stuff. By the way, yeah, I have loads of food allergies, so I can't have I noticed you said about the cookie that you had. I'm gluten-free, wheat-free, yeast-free, sugar-free, dairy-free, lactose-free, spelt-free. I have loads of allergies and tolerances. Yeast-free. I'm like, you know, loads of them. So yeah. So yeah, I just wanted to share basically, you know, what happened with how I got out of the meltdown, which was literally talking to my mum, which really helped. So I always think it's good if you have got a friend that you're able to just pick up the phone with and have a chat with like that, you know. And it's hard because, you know, I don't want to be the type of person that goes around phoning people up telling them my problems, because, you know, but I've been, you know, most of the time I don't have so many problems as I used to, because I've really trained my brain and to be very positive, you know. And I'm a lot happier today. I'm fine again. Do you know what I mean? You've got a friend in me. Oh, I love that music. Thank you. That's really sweet. I love that. I love that. I've got that on a CD somewhere. So it's, you know, it's just really, it's difficult. It really is difficult because obviously I try to be positive all the time. But, you know, I think that's it. Sometimes you've just got to acknowledge, okay, I just had this brief meltdown for a few hours and then I'm all smiling, happy again now. And I try to obviously reframe some of the stuff as well. Because what I was thinking is, what happened in the past? And what are you thinking and feeling again now? And what are you going to do differently this time to what you did from back then? Because obviously, if I'm still having those emotions from the past. It means the situations have not really changed. They've just cropped up again in adultness. And so I'm thinking to myself that obviously something needs to change somewhere. I need to change. Well, I need to change so I don't let people affect me so much, to be honest. I'm much better than I used to be, but I've still not mastered all that. Do you know what I mean? It's hard because, you know, we are human beings after all. Do you know what I mean? As well as spiritual beings. So, but I do think that's a really important takeaway that I watched from that video this morning, is that, you know, if you're letting people affect you emotionally, then really it's going to cause pain for you. So if you love yourself, you need to say, no, I can't do that. Because this guy was like, at no cost can I let this person, there's people that are saying horrible things, get to me. It's a hard knock life. I absolutely love musicals. I love musicals. You know, I absolutely adore musicals. Have I told you I love musicals? So let's talk about musicals, because this is quite a happy thing to talk about. So what have I seen? I've seen Wicked, which is wicked. I've seen The Bodyguard, Sound of Music, Joseph and His Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. I've seen Stomp. I've seen Michael Jackson's Thriller. I've seen Beauty and the Beast. I've seen Phantom of the Opera twice. I've seen Starlight Express. And I've seen Lion King. What do you think of the new Cats? I haven't seen that. I don't watch any musicals with sexy stuff in it usually as well. So what is that? What is that one that what is that one? Is it Moulin Rouge? Haven't seen. Yo, Phantom of the Opera is everything. Yeah, I've seen that twice. Moulin Rouge, I haven't seen that because I don't like watching stuff with sexy, like, women in nearly naked in it. You know what I mean, about sex. I don't know exactly what Cats is about. I know it's a load of women dressed in leotards wearing cat outfits, and that doesn't really appeal to me. I'm like, I don't get attracted to women, and it seems to, I don't know, it just seems a bit sexual to me. But I have no idea because I haven't, you know. I've seen Shrek. Shrek was really, really good, and I've seen Matilda as well. I've seen a lot of films. A lot of these are on my own. Films, theatre. A lot of these I went to London and went on my own to the theatre and got dressed up and had a great time. Apart from The Bodyguard, that was really freaked out, right? Because we were watching I was in the, well, I say we, it was me, and you were in a musical play in elementary school. Oh, congratulations. That's really awesome. What part did you play? I want to know what part you played now. But in London, right, in The Bodyguard, it was really upsetting at one point because they fired this gun, right, in the theatre, you know, on the stage. I think it must have had blanks because it looked like a real gun. And someone in the audience shouted fire, and they jumped up like they were going to actually do something to someone. They jumped up out the audience and said fire as though they were actually going to shoot someone. It was horrible. And I'm like, God, it was a bit frightening. Because that wasn't meant to happen. It's like, whoa. I was a puppy in 101 Dalmatians. Oh, yeah, Dalmatians is spelled like that as far as I know. That's great. That's cute. I like that. I like dogs. I like cats as well, but I like dogs. I like guinea pigs, but I don't have any pets living with me unless you class that spider up there, which I don't like spiders, but that one's been hanging there for a few days now. I got a pet spider. No, not really, but it's just hanging around. I saw its father or mother the other day walk across my floor and he screamed. I hate spiders, especially big ones. It's like freaked me out. Oh, I don't want to think about it. Let's name it. Yeah, but I named one before and I still had to get rid of it. You know what I mean? I think it called it Eric, I think. Ugh. It freaks me out even talking about this. It's like, I'm really scared of them. AC the spider. Oh, don't. That's why I don't get rid of it, but it can't stay there forever. Literally, it's dangling. I've told it to go. I said, go. I need you to go out my home. It's not listening to me. But yeah, so I've seen a lot of musicals. So musicals make me really happy, and I do think the more that you're doing stuff that makes yourself happy and you feel good about, I do feel like that's really It's keeping demons away. Well, my insect totem is a moth. So usually if I'm upset or there's some danger or something, a moth will come in my home, or it starts banging on the toilet window, which is a bit freaky. But yeah, my totem animal's a moth. It's like theoretically when I do a test, it's a butterfly, but I know it's a moth because I get these moths. There was one video I did about my insect totem on this channel. When it came, there's this beautiful moth. It was yellow, and it came, spiders capture spirits in their webs. Well, he's just dangling by a thread up there, so I don't think he's doing very much. But a moth is my insect totem. I love, the moths come. Most spiders are protectors, are they? Well, I have to take that as a comment, but sometimes I don't let them live because I can't stand them in my home. And like once I got like a spider infestation, I think that was last year, and I had to literally take all their stuff out the window because I've got single glazing. And the trouble is they store their eggs in between. And then I started getting spiders all crawling up the ceiling, and it was freaking me out. And I know it's probably some spiritual thing, but I just couldn't have them. I had to kill them, which sounds really horrible because I'm murdering spiders. But I just don't kill jumping spiders. Jumping spiders. I don't like any spiders. The only spiders I can stand are money spiders. That's it. Oh, you love jumping spiders. Well, I know I had a spiritual cricket. I had a cricket, grasshopper come in my shower. A grasshopper's amazing. Grasshopper, I looked up the meaning, the spiritual meaning of grasshopper. It means good fortune is coming my way. That's what it means. And it's all about looking forward and not looking back. So I thought it was good. And ladybug. I've had ladybugs. You had a pet grasshopper. This one appeared in my shower out of nowhere. It appeared in my shower. Like, what's a grasshopper doing in my shower where there's no grass? I live in a flat halfway up the house, and it appeared in my shower, in the doorway, where the door closes. It appeared just there, and I said to him, "I need to go in the shower. You might drown. So can you just move round the side, please?" And I opened the door. And the grasshopper moved round the side. The grasshopper let me feed it by hand. Grasshoppers are very lucky. They're very lucky. It means good fortune's coming your way and move forward. That's what it means. And ladybugs are good as well. I've had ladybugs really recently as well. So that's really good. Let you feed it by hand. Grasshoppers are so cute, but it's really weird because I didn't do anything with the grasshopper. I didn't get rid of it. I didn't put it out the window, didn't harm it. I made sure it went out of the shower door so it wasn't going to get waterlogged. It went round the other side. So out of the shower because I asked it to. I spoke to it and she said, "Can you please move out of the shower? Because the water's going to come down and I don't want you to drown. Can you do it?" And it did. It walked round the corner like that. And then it disappeared by itself. Disappeared. Just went like that. Never to be seen again. Apart from I did see another one, which is really good luck because I saw another one on the way to my supermarket. Black cats actually are good luck. Yes, I have 2 in the house that I live in, and they're very good luck for me. I stroke them. They got green eyes like witches' cats, and they're very good luck for me, black cats. And so I don't have any pets. I live in the middle of a house. But there's 2 people who live in the main part of the house, and they have 2 cats that roam up and down the rest of the house. Like I live in my self-contained flat, but I have to go through the hallway to get to my flat. And they have 2 beautiful black cats with green eyes, and they are so adorable. And I stroke them and say, "You bring me good luck," because I know they do. A cricket got in my house once, and it annoyed me for weeks. It's really good luck. Well, the grasshopper's good luck, and the cricket's part of the grasshopper family, so I presume it's good luck too. But yeah, black cats are really good luck for me because my grandma, when she was alive, she went to Ireland and she bought me this brooch back, which is a black cat with 3 legs. It's got like a picture like embossed metal with 3 legs going around. It's supposed to bring you really good luck. So, if you can give this video a thumbs up, it'd be cool because we're talking about really cool stuff now. Now we've got over the meltdown of last night, but yeah, I just had to take. I was having a friend helping me with some stuff as well, to do with my Fibro book. So Cats keep away evil spirits. That's why witches had them. Well, my guinea pigs used to help with that with me, but I don't have guinea pigs here anymore. And so I keep the light on usually. I don't sleep without some sort of light on since they've left. Well, one of them obviously is no longer with me. She's gone to guinea pig heaven. But the other one lives with my parents because she's diabetic. She's 3, Angel, a love of my life. And so yeah, so she has to be injected twice a day. She has diabetes. I can't do it. Can't do blood and injections. So my parents look after her. So she lives over there and gets treats all the time, more than she did over here, gets spoilt rotten, does loads of bunny hops everywhere, absolutely loves her life over there. So I'm very happy for her. They're still around you in spirit, yeah. I mean, but that's what I did. When my guinea pigs were here, I felt like they warded off evil spirits for me. We're getting into very deep stuff tonight, aren't we? So I just felt that they did. And so I could hear their noises and I used to love it. You know, some people might not like that there because they used to live in my bedroom, like in there where that black sack is. They were there. And yeah, that's where they used to live. So, but now they don't live with me. I have one left, not 2, because the other one went last year. And so I have one, Angel, which she's always my angel. And so yeah, cats are always comforting and loving. Yeah. I mean, the cats can't come into my flat because they're not my cats, but they got in once. One of them got on my bed, but not because I don't want them, but they're not mine. Do you know what I mean? They have to be around the other people's house, rest of their house. But I stroke them and they're beautiful. So, but yeah, I don't have any. I have Angel. She's still always mine because I pay for her veterinary care and stuff like that. So, well, some of it's covered by insurance still, but only for a certain amount of time with her diabetes, and I've got to pay for it myself. So, yeah, that's going to be quite a bit. But I'm not worrying about that at the moment. I've got enough to worry about. That's the thing as well, when you've got loads of projects on. So at the moment, I've actually got 5 projects that I need to do, but I've got 3 of them that I've been working on all simultaneously. And that's the thing. You've got to just like narrow down to which is the most priority. Otherwise, your head just becomes like a bundle of mess. It's like, which do I do? Do you know what I mean? Studies show that black cats are friendlier than any other cat. Well, when I was a kid, which I'm still a kid, but I haven't gone into this, have I? No. So basically, when I was a kid, I used to have. Well, I'm still a kid, but when I was a kid, I used to have a friend, and she had a cat called Mimi, and Mimi was like grey. You live in Neverland. I live in Always Land. I live in my world of quirky, actually, and that's completely true. I literally live in my world of quirky. So yeah, basically, what was I saying? So yeah, my friend had this cat called Mimi, and this cat was what can I how can I say it? It's a grey colored cat, like a grey. It's like a tortoise shell, but like a grey instead of a brown. It was kind of weird. Anyways, it was a grey color, grey white, I think, from what I remember. And she used to really love me like a best friend. And before she, I think I was like one of the last people to see her before she died. She went off into the barns. I don't know why I'm talking about death on here because I'm like a positive person. Why am I bringing this up? But the point was, is she came to me before she died to like say goodbye, even though she wasn't mine because we were so close. That's what I was trying to say in a very quick way because I don't want to dwell on anything like that because I want to think about life and positivity and love and happipiness, which is what I am about. So yeah, that's what I want to think about. But yes, she came because we were so close, me and her, even though I didn't own her. It was like she was mine in that sense, if you know what I mean, in the sense of her spirit was towards me quite a lot because we used to hang out together quite a bit and she loved me and I loved her. She wasn't mine, but I felt like she was kind of mine as well, if you know what I mean, because she really loved me. So I had a very, very special bond with that cat, even though it wasn't mine. So yeah, but it was fantastic. You know, I do love her. But I used to have a dog called Purdy, who was a cocker spaniel. She was mine, and she was a caramel colour. When my friend came over, my cat hissed at her because she hadn't been in a long time and was mad at my friend for not visiting. That's really cool. That's really, really, really cool. That's so cool. Cats are very intuitive though, aren't they? I think a lot of animals are very intuitive. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think as well, a good thing to remember is if you have got things going on in your life, you've got to remember that anything that's happening now is to make way for good stuff and better stuff, which is really important. So sometimes like friends can go away and but you've got to think that different people can come into your life. Do you know what I mean? And so that's the way you've got to think as well. So if any of your friends like leave your life for any reason, because obviously some people do their own thing, don't they, more and more, then you kind of got to just think, okay, out with the old, in with the new. Do you know what I mean? If sometimes people have to leave your life to make way for new things in it. Cats take my negative energy, same as dogs and other animals. Yes. What about cuddly toy eels? Do they take away negative stuff? Oh, because I have cuddly toy. I have Mickey. Mickey's great, isn't it? Have you seen? You know he's a cushion, a pillow, don't you? I did a demonstration once when Heather was on this channel. I don't know if Heather's watching tonight, but she said, "Why don't you?" We were doing. I can't remember what I was doing. Something funny, and so I decided to put Mickey Mouse and Eeyore on my head. That was quite funny, because that's something I got from Disneyland Paris. I'm getting in my pajamas. I got my pajamas on tonight. I got my snowman on. It's not even Christmas. Some cultures suggest cats are actually spirits here to keep us safe. Right. So, do you see this as a Mickey? And this is from Disneyland Paris. So I love this. It's not. You're not supposed to put it on your head, but I think it looks kind of cool, don't you? On the head, just balances. They're nice. So yeah, this is Mickey. And the good thing about this is it reminds me of Disneyland Paris, which is where I love to go. Yeah, so Disneyland Paris is my favourite place to go in the world outside of my city. I absolutely love Disneyland Paris. So if I had the money, I'd go there every year because it's totally my spirit and my soul. So Disneyland Paris, I did a 21st mindset birthday there. And basically, Disneyland Paris was just incredible because it's like, it's like at one with my soul because I love noise, camera, lights, action, which is very different to what a lot of people do. They just want peace and quiet. I don't. I want noise, camera, action. I'm an action girl and I like doing stuff all the time. So Disneyland Paris is amazing. I went there for my 21st mindset birthday, spent 5 days, 4 nights there on my own. And I came back with this one. And I just had the most amazing time there ever in my life. It's Bambi is me. Oh, Bambi is you. Well, I have got loads of Eeyores. I collect Eeyores, so I've got Eeyores everywhere. But I really like this because it doubles up as a pillow. Although I usually use him as a cuddly toy. Apart from once a spider got on him, so I had to wash him. Well, sponge wash him because I'm like, oh. It was a big one as well. So I get a bit freaked out by that because sometimes that Eeyore has spiders under its bum. I like, stay there, Eeyore, in there. Don't let the spiders up onto my bed. And Kiara is me. Kiara. What's Kiara? Which is that from The Lion King, Kiara? I rate a lot to characters of Disney. I probably relate to the princess waiting for her prince. But not waiting for him, getting on with my life until he shows up. But the nice prince, the guy that really loves the person, like we were talking about Frozen the other day, like the guy who really loves the person, even though they're not perfect, but they adore them anyway. Do you know what I mean? I really relate to, yeah. Oh, you love Tarzan? Yeah, but Jane leaves him in the end, doesn't she? That's sad. I like lots of Disney movies. Like I watched lots of them. I can't remember the last one I saw actually. But I love all Disney stuff. I like, like at Disneyland Paris, one of my very favourite rides, which is quite strange, is Ratatouille. Because in Disneyland Paris, right, you go in Ratatouille and it's a 3D boat ride. So you go like on this boat, this round thing, which is like I think it's something to do with a kitchen item. You sit in it and you go through this story, with Ratatouille and the little chef and everything, and it literally takes you through his story, and it's actually 4D. So you see these pictures, which are like 3D, coming out of the roof and stuff. But when you go in it, it's amazing because you go in and the kitchen and it's 4D, so you can smell the smells of the spices. And then you go in this oven and you go under the oven and all these flames come out and you can feel the flames as well. So this 4D Ratatouille ride in Disneyland Paris is amazing. Wish I had a rat that told me how to cook. I'd ace my cooking class. Oh, brilliant. I hate cooking. I'm not into cooking, cleaning, housework, sewing, or any of that type of thing. I'm such a guy in that way, if you pardon the expression. But do you know what I mean? I'm not into any so-called feminine stuff at all. I think guys actually are a lot better than me at cooking. I'm like, guys, you can do the cooking. I'm not interested in cooking. I'm not interested in any of that. It's good though if you've got cooking class. Do you know what happened to me in cooking class? Oh, this is really funny. So I did have to do cooking at school, right? As one of my subjects, which I hate. And I did this cooking where I was making these buns, B-U-N-S, just in case. The buns you eat, not being disgusting, right? And so I went and put them in the oven and I took them out at the time I was supposed to take them out. And yeah, I put icing sugar in them instead of flour. So they didn't rise up and they came out like skins. It was so funny. It's the most funniest thing I'd ever seen in terms of cooking in my life. Like buns, as in cakes, you know, and all that came out was skins because there was no flour in them, just icing sugar instead of the flour. I put tons of icing sugar in it instead of flour. It just makes me laugh. My boyfriend knows how to garden. Only plant I can keep alive in moss. I love moss a lot. Oh, bless you. Well, that's good because I don't do gardening either. I don't like doing any housework. Admittedly, the only thing I don't mind doing is washing clothes. I like to keep clothes clean, so I do wash my clothes every week a lot. I do wash pajamas. I'm always putting new pajamas on. You'll probably see me in different pajamas not every single night, but most nights. I'm always putting new pajamas on and washing them and putting new stuff on because I kind of hang around in my pajamas a lot. It's more comfier for me a lot of the time, and so I'm always washing pajamas. And dressing gowns I wash a lot of as well and stuff like that. So yeah. But plants, I've got 2 plants I keep alive. One is a yucca plant and one is when Snuggles, who was one of my guinea pigs years ago, when Snuggles died, the vets sent me a plant and it was in memory of her and I've kept it ever since. So it's Snuggles plant and that sits in my toilet. And it flowers every year and I water it and I keep it alive despite the fact I'm not usually good at that stuff. But yeah, so it's really good. My boyfriend was surprised and confused as to how I liked a cactus. I used to have cacti. I used to have cacti or cactuses. I used to have them. I used to have a cacti garden. My boyfriend was surprised and confused as to how I killed a cactus. Oh, killed a cactus. I thought you said kept a cactus. Killed a cactus. Oh, right. You killed a cactus. That's funny. But then I let my cactuses float away. I had a Mammalia plumosa cacti. See? I can even remember its name, which was my favourite ever cacti. And it looked like a cloud with prickles. And yeah, it blew. I think I overwatered it or something. And it blew away when I put it outside to dry off. It blew away. He's like, how do you kill a cactus? Well, I can kill a cactus, so that's funny though. It's good you can laugh about stuff like that. It's good that you can do things together and stuff and share those type of experiences, isn't it? Like, I don't have a garden. My housemates who have the rest of that, well, they have the downstairs part and the middle part of the house. They've got a garden, a front garden, and I go through it. So occasionally I sit on the bench, but it's not mine and I can't do gardening or anything in it. That's like something I do. I overwatered it and he's like, how? That's what I just said though, didn't I? Yeah, I'm sure I just said that. I overwatered my cacti. I put it outside to dry off and then it blew away. Yeah, so you can. I mean, oh, it's terrible as well because I had stick insects years ago, and I waterlogged the stick insects. This is when I was a kid. And what happened was these stick insects I got, they had babies, and we put muslin material over them, but they still got loose. And these baby insects were stick insects were all over the ceiling in the kitchen. Tons of baby stick insects, but yeah, later on I think I waterlogged them by putting too much water in their thing. You killed bamboo too. That's what pandas eat, isn't it? Have you seen a red panda? Have you ever seen a red panda in my life at the zoo? A red panda is beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Very, very beautiful. Very lovely. So, but yes, I completely understand. Yeah, they're really sweet. I love animals. My mum has a squirrel coming in her garden daily, and it comes and gets nuts and it buries them and comes back for them later. It's amazing because my parents, where they live, they got a really nice back garden. Like, it's small. They've got one cockatiel who's their cockatiel's over 30 years old that they've got. It's amazing. And that's in the shed. And then outside they've got so they've got fish as well in a pond. This squirrel, I see it every time I go over. The squirrel, it's a grey squirrel, and it comes down and it basically comes back for its nuts that is hidden, and then it gets new nut and it hides that. It's incredible. It's so sweet. You know, I love to see animals close up like that. Do you know what I mean? It's really, really lovely. I really love to see animals close up like that. I'm kind of getting used to hugging my Mickey here. Makes a nice boyfriend, don't you think? It's very cute. When someone asks my romantic orientation for the 100th time of forgetting, I say I'm panda. Oh, that's really funny. Yeah, because you're pan romantic, aren't you? That's really, really funny. I love that one, my life. That's really good. I'm panda. That's really, really good. I love that. I think more people should adopt that. It's really, 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 really funny. Really, really funny. That's really, really good. I love that. Are you monogamous or poly? Because I'm monogamous. I presume you're monogamous, but I've never actually asked you that, I don't think. So, you know, monogamous when you're just with one person as a boyfriend, girlfriend, or relationship, whatever gender. You swing either way. That's a very awkward answer. So a polyamorous person is someone that has more than one partner. You have multiple partners. So, you know, you've got your boyfriend now. So if you're polyamorous, you'd have your boyfriend plus other people, like other girlfriends, boyfriend. I'm not talking about friends. I'm talking about relationship. You'd have a relationship with more than one person. My current relationship is monogamous. That's what I was saying. That's what I was Well, that's what I was asking, basically. Because obviously, if someone's monogamous, it means they can only be with a monogamous person, usually. I think. But then I don't know. Because I have come across some people that say, I say you monogamous or poly. They said, oh, well, I don't mind either way. I'm open for either, closed or open. Oh, right. Yeah. That's a bit, I mean, I've met other people who are the same, but it's a bit weird for me because to me, it's because I told you I think in black and white. It's either where you're polyamorous or you're monogamous, not in between. My boyfriend is a closed relationship guy, so he's monogamous. So you'd have to be monogamous, wouldn't you? Which is, yeah, because I wouldn't be with someone who's polyamorous. They'd have to be monogamous with me. There's absolutely no way, shape or form I would want to be with someone who's polyamorous because I wouldn't want to be in a relationship with multiple people and I wouldn't want them to be in a relationship with other people. I don't mind them having friends, but I wouldn't want them kissing and cuddling other people. Do you know what I mean? So I'd be 100%, I'm 100% fiercely monogamous girl in a relationship. Like, there's boundaries I have with my friends. Like, I don't kiss my friends. Like, I've got really good close guy friends, but I won't kiss them and I don't cuddle them. I'll hug them, you know, like a friendship hug to say hello and goodbye, but I don't sit there cuddling them and I won't kiss them because that's stuff that I just do within a relationship. But I mean, obviously, if I'm dating a guy, it's different. I'll kiss a guy I'm dating. Do you know what I mean? Because I am single after all. But I mean, if I'm in a relationship with someone, then I'm not kissing other people. Do you know what I mean? Cuddling other people. But as a single person, you know, when you're out on the dating scene trying to find a relationship, you know, you might I might kiss a guy, but I wouldn't kiss my friends. That's different. But a guy I'm dating, as in I want to be in a relationship or thinking about being in a relationship with, then I'll kiss sometimes a guy I'm dating. Yeah. I wish I was next to my boyfriend. Oh, bless you. Well, I wish that too for you. That's really nice though, you think of him like that. Oh, it's so sweet. Do you text and message each other every day? I'm curious to know, because I'm really romantic, so I like messaging every day, all the like a lot of the time. I like messaging. Yes. See, that's really true love. Do you know what I mean? Like, I met someone in the UK singles group, which I told you is not for asexuals, but I'm in it anyway, right? And there's one guy I connected to on there, and like, it's like he doesn't even speak to me. So I've told him, I said, you know, well, you're not for me because I need someone who's going to put time, effort, and energy into it. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're not talking to me, you're obviously not bothered, and I wish you well. And I was actually very impressed with one guy from there. He's honest with me today. So he was on about the amount of fake profiles in there, which is really interesting because this isn't an asexual group and I don't usually go in them, but I thought I'll try it and see what's happening because it's quite interesting as well from a relationship perspective to see what it's like being in a sexual, predominantly heterosexual group. But they have got lesbians in there as well, and they've got gays in there, not just heterosexuals. I saw my friend and her boyfriend, and he gave I saw my friend and her boyfriend, and he gave her his suit jacket to stay warm. And I was like, oh my God, it was so adorable. That is really, really, really sweet. I love that type of thing. I want a teenager style relationship permanently. Like, I really love a teenager style relationship 24/7, 365 days a year, because I love all that stuff. You know, and I was really impressed today though, because a guy out from this UK singles group, he was on about the amount of fake profiles in that group. And it's true, because obviously I'm on asexual dating sites and ASAP, and there's quite a few fakes on there on ASAP, and quite a few people who are not really asexual. But it's very interesting to see how many fake people there are actually in sexual groups, because you're like, why are you faking stuff in a sexual group? Do you know what I mean? But you get a lot of them just after visas in there. Oh, loads of the foreigners, they just come after you for visas. Oh, I want marriage. I even got one last night saying about, oh, you need to get me out of this country. You know, I'll marry you. I'm like, block. It's like, no, I don't need to get you out of your country. Do that yourself. Block. Do you know what I mean? It's like really rude people. And anyway, this guy was in it saying about fake profiles. And so I did message him and say, oh, yeah, I found there's fake profiles in there too, but I'm asexual, so it's harder for me to find someone anyway. And he turned around and said, oh yeah, he goes, well, because he goes, I'm legally in the UK, I've got my own like visa, so I'm not illegal here, live in London. He goes, but sex needs to be on the table for me. He said, and I can understand why you find it difficult because, you know, you're going to have a 10% chance. When he said 10%, I thought, wow, that's more than the 1% of the population that I know we are. So I was thinking he's giving me 10%. He thinks 10% of the people in that group don't want sex. I thought, that's good. Good news for me, isn't it? But yeah, so I was quite impressed with that. But yes, he did say straight out that sex would have to be on the table. Wish me luck. So that was a really respectful sexual guy that I had speaking to me then. Really nice. I like it when guys are like that and sexuals are like that. Upfront, honest. No, I need sex, but I wish you well. You know, I like it because that's how the world should be. You know, it should be, if you're asexual, sex is not on the table. You say that I want a relationship without sex. Exactly. It's rare. You know, and if they say no sex, I need sex, then that's it, isn't it? Period. You wish each other well, but don't faff around. And so that's what I did like. I thought it was a really nice guy. He was foreign as well. He does live in London. You know, but he was upfront with me and he wasn't messing around. And I like that. I thought it was really, really good and positive. And I also thought it was really nice. They said, oh, well, you're going to have a hard time, you know, it's going to be hard for you finding someone if you're asexual, you know, without sex, because you got a 10% chance. I was thinking, I'll take the 10%. Thanks very much. So, but yeah, in that group, I mean, it's seriously, the women are so like full on parading their boobs everywhere. Most of them, it's like, oh God. It's like there's a lot of fake guys in there and there's a lot of fake women in there as well. So but it's just interesting for me to observe mostly. And I have to say they're not very proactive, a lot of them in there either. They kind of like just keep saying hello to everyone and not really doing much. It's like, apart from the ones that want visas. So, but yeah, it was nice and refreshing. But yeah, on ASAP, you reminded me of something as well. Oh yeah, that's right. There was a guy on ASAP I talked to, asexual dating app, and this guy lived near me, and he was looking for a relationship, but sadly he smokes drugs, which I'm not interested in someone who smokes drugs. Do you know what I mean? But he also said, in terms of relationship compatibility, that because I said I like, I said I like a lot of passionate kissing, like tongue kissing, I like holding hands, cuddling, all that type of thing. And he said he wasn't into that because that's what like teenagers do. And he wants something more adult. And I was like, oh yeah, well, we definitely wouldn't be compatible then, because I like the teenager stuff 24/7, 365 days a year. I'm looking for a permanent teenager style relationship. I don't want an adult sexual relationship. It's like going to a zoo. I was in a dating group when I was single, and I felt like I was visiting a different species. Yeah. Well, I don't usually go in them, and it's really interesting for me because I don't experience it. Like the first group I was in that was non-asexual, they kicked me out with only me being in there a few hours. That was really funny. They just banned me from kicked me out of the group. As I said, I was asexual. They kicked me out. So that was the end of that. And then some other groups haven't accepted me, and this one I was accepted into. But I have posted about no sex, and I have said I'm asexual. And this woman thought she might be asexual. She came on and said, "Oh, I'm like that, so I think I might be asexual." So that was good. And there's one guy who said I can be in a relationship without sex, but he's the one that he friended me, but he doesn't even speak to me very much. He's not pursuing me or doing anything. So I'm like, obviously you're not interested. I wish you well. He goes, yeah, I wish you well too. So yeah, that was the end of that. He's still friends with me at the moment on Facebook, but I don't know if I'll keep him as a friend. But hey, so it is like a different species. I totally get you, my life. I'm gonna pour some water for myself on a live stream because I'm getting thirsty here, and it helps me to talk and keep my energy levels up. But yes, I totally agree. I can really relate to that. Sounds like I'm going to the toilet, but I'm really not. I'm getting water. Maybe us aces from space. Oh, from space. Well, yeah, I mean, we're on another planet, definitely, aren't we? We are in a different world. I do think, right, because I've been in heterosexual relationships for half my life, and I do feel like the sexual world, especially the heteronormative world, is very different to the asexual world. And I do feel like it's two worlds. I feel like we're in one big world together, but it's two separate worlds at the same time. It's very bizarre. It's kind of like I was in that world, now I'm in this world, and I can see that world, and we're all encased in this big world. It's very weird. It's very, very bizarre. I think us asexuals came from a different planet. Well, most likely, quite a lot of people think that and say that, Quite a lot of asexuals feel like they're aliens, but I felt like I was an alien when I was a kid because I was always so different. So even regardless of my asexuality, I was so different as a kid. I just felt I was an alien, but I think I've been here before. I'm sure I've been reincarnated, to be quite honest with you, which is you might not believe in, but sure I've been here before. And we're stuck here. Yeah, but are we stuck? Because stuck's a negative word. Or are we here to make a difference upon the world and show them a different way? That's what I believe I'm here for. I'm here because I'm different. I get what you mean, though, by being stuck here. It's kind of like, this is not our home. Totally. The community of asexuals is our home. Oh, yes, Queen. Oh, bless. So that's what I think. I think that we're here to make a difference. Like I'm clearly here to make a difference where asexuality is concerned. I know I was born to talk about asexuality. I mean, how do I keep doing these live streams? We're planted here to show the way to true love. Exactly. We're very different, and we see the world in a completely different way, and that is so unique and special. I mean, it is so unique and special. It's just incredible. We have such gifts. But the thing is, asexuals have been put down so much a lot in society and by life that they don't feel like they've got gifts, but they have. Asexuals got amazing gifts. They've got the ability to be different because they were born different, just didn't realise it. And we have to use those gifts. We have to embrace our asexuality, not hide from it. We have to open up to people about being asexual. The more we talk about being asexual, the more the future generations don't have to live in fear and can stop being in positions of sexual stuff that they don't like doing, you know? So, because, you know, it's horrible, isn't it? When you're growing up as a kid and you think everyone around you is going on about sex and you just don't feel the same way. It doesn't even enter your head. Didn't even enter my head. I didn't even think about it for me. It's more like they were just talking and you're just like in a life where everything's happening around you. I think God will like, that's it. I need some help to correct this and show what love is. And thus, asexuals were created. Well, I have a theory that maybe everyone's asexual when they're born anyway. I know. Because I don't think anyone's born sexual. To be honest, I think it's more like everyone's born asexual and then changes with the environment, with society, with conditioning. Do you know what I mean? And obviously when hormones start taking over, they go one way or the other. So I kind of think it's the opposite. Everyone else has the notion that everyone's born sexual. And then for some reason, some people are asexuals, but I think it's the opposite. I think no one's born sexual. Everyone's born probably asexual, and then they develop one way or the other. They either stay asexual or through hormones when they become a teenager, or just gradual hormonal changes in the body, and also through conditioning, through society, through parents, through peers. I believe they change to be sexual. So I think it's the opposite way. I thought that for a very, very long time. It doesn't make sense to me why someone would pop out of the womb as a sexual person. It just doesn't. Adam and Eve didn't have sex till after they were kicked out of the Garden of Eden. Yeah, and Mary's a virgin, isn't she? The Virgin Mary. So to me, that would mean that people are asexual before they become sexual. I think that's the way it is, actually, to be perfectly honest with you. I really do believe that, but that's not the way people think. But I reckon that's what it is. I reckon that's the truth. I reckon everyone's born asexual and then they change. So when people go, oh, asexuals have got a defect, they, you know, like they say, oh, it's not asexuality, it's not a sexuality, it's a defect. There's something wrong with you. You need to see a doctor or get a pill, which you don't, by the way. That is because we've kept traditionally to who we are. We haven't changed over the generations and the years where since we were born, we've stayed asexual and not realised it. Whereas the other people, when they go through the hormonal changes, when they go through the puberty is what makes them sexual, or some people stay asexual. That's what I believe. So I don't reckon at all that the theory's right. I actually think it's the opposite. But because most people in the world are heterosexual, and because most people in the world are heteronormative, they think their reality is the real one, when actually I believe ours is, to be quite honest. But reality is what you make it, you know? Reality is all about what you believe. Two people can experience the same experience, but both believe different things about it. I think there were asexuals in Bible times. Well, when we did the UK Asexuality Conference last year, asexuality was dated back to the 1900s. I think they got it as far back as. I want to know what it's like back then, but it wasn't called asexuality back then. But yeah, it's only since the flower power age, or that type of thing, that things became very hypersexual. Before then, it wasn't so. Do you know what I mean? So I really believe, well, I do believe my theory. I think everyone's born asexual and then changes. I don't think it's the other way. I don't think everyone's born sexual, then some people become defective and go and be asexual. I think they're all born asexual, and then as they go along in life, they become sexual through the hormonal changes, which makes much more sense, because it's the hormonal changes that make a lot of the time people sexual. Do you know what I mean? When they come into the hormones is when they start thinking about sex and having sex. Before then, a lot of them don't think that much about sex. Do you know what I mean? Apart from now, because society's conditioning kids to be thinking about sex from a very, very young age with everything on TV. So that, again, is conditioning. I believe in the flower power thing. I think people should celebrate their sexuality, but not to look down on those that aren't sexual. Yeah, I really think that, you know, if some people are sexual, I think they should express that. I think they, you know, you're a hippie / tree hugger. Oh, bless you. I think, you know, if people are sexual beings, then I think they should be free to be sexual. But I like you say, I don't think they should frown upon asexuality. I think they should actually see the beauty, because it's really, asexuality is pure love. It's the purest love you can get. And I honestly believe, if you think about my theory about people are asexual, then they change to become sexual, then, you know, it makes more sense. It makes far more sense. But I'm surprised no one's come up with that theory yet, apart from me, which I have said on this channel, but I haven't put in a book. But that's kind of what I think, in my own personal opinion, which is not scientific whatsoever. But I just, you know, well, I say it's not scientific, but to me it's quite logical, because it makes more sense that way around. Do you know what I mean? It makes more sense that people are asexual, then they change with conditioning, peer pressure, society, when they're a kid, and then they get to the hormonal stages, and that just... Claire, hello Claire. Lovely to see you. Asexuality is beautiful. It is very beautiful. It is very beautiful. It's a very, very beautiful gift. It's like being one of those beautiful butterflies, isn't it? That's so tender to touch and pure. Do you know what I mean? Like a pure little white butterfly flying around. And it's so beautiful and it's so amazing. And, you know, you just shine your light above everyone else. It's nice to have you on this channel. Thanks for coming on, joining my community here. It's really nice. It's nice to have someone else to talk to as well. So yeah, we all got crowns. Yeah, I think asexuality is beautiful. I think it's amazing. You know, it's lovely to have you here. This is my life, by the way. My life is an active participant in my live streams, which is really nice of them. So yeah, so it's really good to have you along, Claire, as well. And I know Heather watches this channel a lot, so I don't know if she's watching tonight, but I'll give a kiss to Heather, because she watches a lot of my shows, and she's been watching me for a very long time, and she's not asexual as well, so that's even nicer. Did you hear Taylor Swift's Calm Down song? No, because I don't listen to TV or watch news, and therefore I don't even know what's on the charts. So I haven't heard of that. I do listen to some YouTube music, but not today, because I've been video editing, which I've got to carry on doing, because, you know, I've got problems with my Mac, like I said. It's for all LGBT plus. Oh wow, that's nice. That's really nice. That's good. That's good. I do want more for asexuals, though. I want asexuality recognised in and of its own right. It's very, very important, because sexuals are not going to know the difference else. Do you know what I mean? It's very, very important that we get asexuality recognised as a sexual orientation in its own right as well. I think we should work with LGBT, but I think we should be separate as well. Personally, this is my personal opinion. Oh, it will be. I made songs good, because, you know, asexuality is a sexual orientation that's a lack of sexual attraction, whereas lesbian, gays, bisexuals, they still get sexually attracted to people. The sexuality is based on something completely different. The thing we have in common is that we're in minority sexuality, but our sexuality is still based on completely the opposite thing. Theirs is based on who they're sexually attracted to, which is different to the norm, and ours is based on who we're not sexually attracted to, which is no one. We belong at Pride too. Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people, they go to Pride. I haven't been to a Pride event yet, because I'm heteromantic. I feel a bit differently. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm hetero. I'm not LGB or T. I'm hetero, but I know that we're tagged onto the acronym LGBT plus QIA. So, but my mission while I'm alive on this planet Earth is to get asexuality recognised as a sexual orientation throughout the globe, because it's important for our generations to come that they know they don't have to have sex. And it's fine if they don't want to. That's where it differs, you know? That's my mission. And obviously sexual people don't know that asexuality is different. If we're just with LGBT, how can sexuals, heterosexuals, for example, know the difference? They just automatically think we're gay or bisexual. Do you know what I mean? Which I'm not. And that's why I feel it has to be talked about more. It has to be shown in its own right as well. It has to be. Because everyone knows what LGBT means, but not many people know what the A on the end of the acronym means. And the people that do are the ones within the asexual community. How is a sexual person supposed to understand the difference? If, say, because obviously I've lived in the heterosexual world for half of my life, how's a heterosexual person supposed to know the difference? Unless someone actually comes out of LGBT and says, hey, I happen to be asexual, I'm just in the middle of LGBT. It has to be talked about. It just have to be talked about far more. So It stands for a lot of things, asexual included. I know asexual. Well, there was debate about it, wasn't there? But asexual is like there's debate about agender, aromantic, asexual, allies. That was the theory, but most people have settled on asexual. But anyway, my mission, personal mission, is to get asexuality recognised as a sexual orientation throughout the globe in its own right. That's my mission. I know that's my life purpose. So, and I can't even say that. Andro-romantic. Interesting. Androgyny. Interesting. Yeah. I mean, in my Asexual Perspectives book, a guy who is actually gay, he's the founder of Pride Matters. He actually says it stands for asexual in my book. You haven't, I don't think you've read my book, have you? But he says, and he's from LGBT. He's Pride Matters founders, which is huge. It's huge on Twitter. I interviewed him for my book. So, yeah. But, well, that, to be honest, my life, that proves my point even more. Like, if it's so, there's others, I can't list everything. Exactly. If it includes everything, then how's anyone supposed to ever know about asexuality separate? They just don't, do they really? Only people in the community know that asexuality is part of LGBT, most of it, you know, unless there's any documentary about it or anything. But my mission personally is for asexuality. Something I wish would be public is Panda Plus. I don't know what Panda Plus is. It Panda Plus is pan romantic and something else, is it? Or what is Panda Plus? Pan romantic and what? I don't know what Panda Plus is. I have to look that up. But I want asexuality recognised as a sexual orientation. I will do whatever it takes while I'm on this planet alive to get asexuality recognised in its own right. Panda Plus is accepting and leaves nobody out. They don't fight anyone on things. Yeah. See, because I'm an individualist, I have to say that. I was born an individualist. I am an individualist. So I doesn't, you know, whether I'm part of a group or not is you know, like, it's nice to be part of the asexual community. I love that. But, you know, I'm here in and of my own right as well. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm not like, naturally, I'm not like, I know you're part of a pack. Naturally, I'm not a pack person. Naturally, I'm an individualist. Like, I'm on my own a lot, which is quite strange for someone who's extrovert. Pan, asexual, non-binary, demisexual, aromantic, and everyone else. Interesting. What I find difficult though is, like, obviously when I hold asexual meetups, I just have them for asexuals and anyone on the asexual spectrum, anyone, including demisexuals and grey asexuals, right? But I don't have LGBT people in my meetups because they're just for asexuals mine. If I was doing an LGBT one, I would have to do it as an LGBT asexuals and LGBT. I'm in LGBT plus, Panda plus, and Avon. I'm on Avon. But you see, you're pan romantic, so it makes more sense that you're in it because obviously you're pan, aren't you? So it's more relevant to you. As a heteromantic asexual, I don't really fit into it in terms of my orientation because I'm not sexually attracted to anyone and I'm hetero. So apart from the fact that the A is tagged onto the acronym, I'm not a lesbian, I'm not a bisexual, I'm not biromantic either, I'm not homoromantic, I'm not transgender. You know what I mean? Panda Plus accepts everyone, even heteromantic asexual people. That's fine, that's great, it accepts everyone, but I'm saying that I like to also be separate as well. I like being separate. I like standing out from the crowd. Do you know what I mean? I like standing out from the crowd, and I like asexuality needs to stand out because if someone or people don't get asexuality recognised more and more as a sexual orientation, it's so right, we're still going to have the problem of people thinking everyone likes sex. It doesn't solve the problem. And heterosexuals don't understand the difference. I get accused of being a lesbian. It really winds me up. Yes, people say, oh, if you're asexual, you're a lesbian then. It's like, no, I have lesbian friends, I have gay friends, but I'm not a lesbian. Thanks very much. Because they don't know the difference. I just azed someone on Instagram by spreading knowledge that pink used to be masculine and blue used to be feminine. Wow. That is incredible. Apparently, when I was a kid, I used to go around telling people they were stupid for having dolls, which I don't understand why, considering I had 2 dolls of my own that I can remember the names of. So it's like my mum told me that. So I obviously had some guy traits in me as a kid as well. But asexuality is beautiful, you know. I really like, I know that I'm probably very different to most people in the asexual community, and the fact that I'm very, very individualist on the asexuality thing in comparison to LGBT. Like, most people believe that we should be part of LGBT, and they're happy to be, and they're happy to go in pride events, etc. At the moment, I'm not saying I'm never going to go in a pride event. At the moment, I am for asexuals. I'll always be for asexuals. I have to get asexuality recognised because too much is at stake, you know, for future generations. I don't want kids going to school thinking they need to have sex, right? Because even if they get LGBT like stuff in schools, unless it includes asexuality and people know, so that means you don't have to, you know, there's people that don't like sex, it isn't going to change that. And asexualities need that, you know. I know from being a kid, you know, we don't think about sex. We don't need sex. We don't want it. It doesn't enter our head a lot of the time. People talk about sex and it's like a foreign language to us. And when you grow up as a kid in that environment, you know, you sometimes feel like, oh, what's this sex thing? Like, maybe I should be doing it. And you kind of like doing things to go in a relationship because you think that goes with the relationship and you should just have sex. I mean, I never knew that I was asexual. So in relationships, I just thought I had to have sex. Lots of LGBT plus think asexual should stay quiet, and it's like, bruh, hell no. If they have a right to speak up, so do we. Yeah, but you see, I feel more comfortable in the ace community than I ever have elsewhere. Thank you, Claire. Yeah, that's what I do, you know, and I know personally I'm put on this planet to get asexuality recognised as a separate sexual orientation. I personally think, like, if we were on the news, right, if the news was talking about minority communities, I think it should be asexuality, LGBT. These two communities are working together, so they're seen as separate entities but working together. I branched out for various reasons. Like, I have no problem with other people. I am with you trying to fight ace erasure. Exactly. You know, I have no problem with people. You know, it's up to people what they do. And lots of people go in LGBT pride. And if I went in pride events, it would do more for me in terms of publicity. I'll be honest. Like, if I went in pride events, I'd have more publicity. I might even more have people on this channel. But then I would be doing it to get publicity. I just learned a new word. Oh, bless you. But you know what I mean? I'm not about publicity. I mean, I have to be about publicity to a certain extent because obviously I need to publicize asexuality. But what I'm saying is I'm not just going to do something just for publicizing sake, because I'm not comfortable at the moment. I'm not saying, because there might be opportunities that come later on where I need to work more with LGBT, especially with my books I'm doing, because the publisher that approached me, they work a lot with LGBT, which is why they approached me about the book, you know, my Asexual Guide to Sex, which they're not publishing. I'm doing it that, even though they said it will sell and there's a market for it. It's not suitable for their list, but they're still after me for other books, other asexual books in the future. They're still interested in 2 of my books. So they're really after me, like, which is nice because they approached me. So, you know, it's like, I've got gay friends, I've got lesbian friends. I have no problem with LGBT people. I think they're wonderful. I love the fact when 2 guys kiss and hold hands. I think it's great. Other people are not like me. I see 2 men kissing and holding hands. I think, oh, that's really nice, providing they care about each other and love each other. I mean, I did have a hard thing the other day, you know, when I went out clubbing and I saw this guy be really aggressive to this other guy, and he looked like he was taking advantage of him because the other guy was really drunk, and that was upsetting for me. But, you know, in general, you know, as long as they're caring and it's all consensual and happy, then I think it's great if 2 guys kiss. I mean, when women, you know, hold hands in front of with each other, I think it's wonderful. I kind of do think that aces and LGBT plus should be separate, but work together as a team for equality and share pride. Pride is about showing who you are and embracing who you are, aces of all kinds and aromantics. Yeah, I think we should be separate but work together, personally. Have been hurt a lot in history, as well as gay, bi, trans, etc. So, you know, I have, you know, like I've got asexual friends, a pan romantic friend, for example. I've got homo romantic friends. Do you know what I mean? Actually, I've probably got more homo romantic friends and, you know, people that like the opposite gender, or this sorry, people that like the same gender more than the opposite gender, to be honest with you. So one of my close friends, they're pan romantic. My best friend, they were pan romantic, now they're homo romantic. Most of the guys I come across are homo romantic, because I got another friend, they're homo romantic. There are some heteros, so, but yes, I think there's more homos than heteros, but it's great. But you know, it's not good if you're trying to find a hetero. But yeah, so I appreciate all the people, but I know categorically I have to get asexuality recognised as a sexual orientation in its own right. I know some people don't like the fact I say that, but it is I'm just here. That's what I'm here for, planet Earth, because I have to do that. Because it is so essential that we stop people feeling they need to have sex and end up in positions where they're doing sexual acts and sex when they don't need to, but they feel they need to, because no one tells them there's another way. No one tells them there's another way, because I didn't know. I literally thought for years that I was the only one on the entire world, planet, and universe that didn't want sex. Ever. That's the life I lived for years. I can't even believe there is you know, like when I first came to the asexual community, I was like, oh my God, there's more of me. You know, there's more people like me. I couldn't believe it. For years, I lived in a completely oblivious world, and I never knew asexuality existed. And what are all those children doing growing up, thinking they have to have sex? I mean, you know, LGBT is becoming more well known, which is great. It's wonderful. But where does there's people that don't want sex bit fit in? It doesn't still in that way, because it's all, you know, it's like we're tagged onto the acronym, if you know what I mean. We should be in our own right. So there's like LGBT and there's asexuals. They're both minorities. So they're both like minority sexualities and together helping each other out in that way, but they are still two different types of sexuality. I plan to do a special asexual awareness thing for school. That's good. And I'm sorry about being hurt a lot. That's not so nice for you. I think everyone should be, sexuality should be accepted, you know, as it is. Yeah, it's good you plan to do a special asexual awareness thing for school. I've been thinking about what I can do for asexual awareness week, and I've got something I want to do, but again, it depends if I can get all my videos off, because I need to create a video. So, and I'm very time consumed at the moment with things. Very time consumed. My, you know, what I'm doing is getting tighter and tighter. But I do, you know, I know some people, they're very strong and they're going, oh well, I think we should be part of LGBT. It's not up to me to decide that. We're already part of LGBT. We're already part of the acronym. It's not my decision to make. It's been decided. Do you know what I mean? But I still have the power of choice to decide for myself, so I can get asexuality recognised as sexual orientation throughout the globe in its own right. I think it's really important. I do know that, you know, if I was doing more LGBT stuff, it would be more publicity. But I mean, at the moment, I'm not doing that. I'm not saying I'm never going to do it, because obviously it's most important. If it's beneficial for asexuals, really beneficial more than not, then I'd do it, you know. But I don't feel comfortable at the moment, and I think sometimes it's good to stand out on your own. Do you know what I mean? I think it's good to make a stance on your own rather than follow the crowd all the time. So I think it's really important. There's more to come from me. I haven't made my mark truly yet, but I will do for you guys. Don't worry, I will be making my mark a lot in the future. I just keep going and keep going. Now, I think it's good that I'm doing more books for asexuals. You know, my second one is amazing. I just want to get on with it, but I've got other stuff that I need to do that's got to be prioritized at the moment, like the Fibro book, because obviously that's deadlines. I mean, I have to reply to them every couple of days because there's deadlines of the third party we go through to get my Fibro book out, and that raises awareness of asexuality. So the quicker I get my print book out, my fibromyalgia self-help handbook, which you're probably like, why is she talking about a different book? Is because some asexuals have fibromyalgia, and I mention in the book about asexuality. So I'm bringing asexuality to a new audience that's never heard of asexuality before. That's why it's so imperative as well I get this book out. because it talks about obviously the majority of people who have fibromyalgia are not asexual. But I've brought asexuality into there because a lot of people with fibromyalgia, they've got so much pain that they can't physically have sex. It stops them. So they're not asexual, which I've made it clear in the book. But there are asexuals that could love them without sex, which is really important to know, because most fibro people, their husbands and partners are leaving them because they're not having sex anymore. And they can't have a sexless relationship. So they're going off after years of marriage and leaving their partner that's got fibromyalgia. They're just leaving them. And the fibromyalgia people think they can't get anyone else because no one will love them without sex, which isn't true. Some asexuals could be in relationships with people who've got fibro that can't have sex, and they can love them. There's a lot, there's things that can happen that people don't know about. So I just wanted to let them know that, it's really important. I did a 2-day project where I did an emo look and I had a drawing in my art pad saying, "Look beyond the cover." Oh, and I had a drama mask thing. I might do something similar with Ace and Arrow. Oh, that sounds very interesting. Wow, I love the look beyond the cover thing. I think that's really, really nice idea. I like that because I don't think people look beyond the facial value thing. Do you know what I mean? I really can't wait for more and more people to know about asexuality. I really, really wished I'd known before that I was asexual, but then I wouldn't have led the life I lived. I mean, I'm able to help all types of asexuals on this channel because I've had sex in the past for half my life, because otherwise I wouldn't understand the more sexual end of the spectrum, would I? I plan to do one for trans and non-binary things too. Oh, that's really sweet. It's really good. It's really good. Very good. Keep up the good work, my life. It's really good. I'm proud of you. Really proud of you. Keep up the awesome work. It's good. The thing is, with us creatives, we could go on and on, couldn't we, coming up with things? That's the thing I find. Like, when you're creative, you keep coming up with ideas and you're like, I haven't finished the first idea yet, let alone the second. And I just keep coming up with more ideas. I'm like, oh my gosh. It's good, but it's like you've never got nothing to do. But it's like you've got to, at some point in time, you have to just say, I've got to finish this thing off. Otherwise, you never get anything finished. I love to create too. That's why I've got my Mac that's nearly full. My Mac's like a 650 gigabyte Mac and got 8 gigabytes left, which is why tonight I'm going to have to sign off in a minute because I've got to go and do some more video editing. So, and try and keep myself awake, which will be, fun. But anyway, I think it's been a really interesting talk tonight. And I've gone through saying I had a meltdown last night to telling you how I dealt with that meltdown, and that I'm much happier today. And we've had a really good chat about all sorts of things tonight. Really, really good chat. Oh, thank you very much. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. The benefit of thumbs up is it means that, more people get to watch these videos, because with YouTube, the search engine ranking goes up on likes, on comments, on videos. So you having a chat with me is really good, because obviously it gets more eyeballs on the channel, because they have an algorithm, a thing that makes people watch these videos more. So the more people interact with the channel and give the thumbs up, the more eyeballs it gets on this channel, and the more, it raises awareness of asexuality, which is really fun. I had fun chatting with you, my life too, and I want to say a big thank you to Claire as well. It's lovely to hear you say that asexuality is beautiful. I don't hear many asexuals saying that when they should say it more. It's really important, because asexuality is beautiful. You're beautiful for being here. Thank you, my life too. And I know there's been someone watching all the way through. Sorry. I share your channel on my Instagram. And hashtag it. Oh, that's lovely, my life. Oh, sorry, before I go, I'm excited about that. I've got to share my excitement. Oh, that's so nice. Thank you. I'm really happy now. Thank you. I feel like a little kid. Thank you. That is so nice. Oh, wow. What do you hashtag? Do you hashtag it with asexuality? I presume you do. Oh, that's really nice of you. Thank you. I don't have Instagram, so that's really, really, really good, because I do so much with social media. I'm on Facebook, YouTube. I do more than this channel, but this channel, to be honest, takes over everything, because my other channel I don't actually go on as much, which is a bit naughty of me, but because I'm live streaming here all the time, and I'm more, I just find asexuality stuff really natural to me. I'm obviously born for asexual stuff, because I don't know how that I manage to live stream every day and still come up with new content and talk about different things all the time. It's just, it bowls me over. It's got to be like naturally within me, flowing through me. Do you know what I mean? Because people just can't do it for that long all the time. But, you know, I've been live streaming on this channel now for over a year and I've not missed many episodes. Last night I did, which wasn't great, you know, and usually I come on here no matter what, but at the time I was chatting to an asexual friend about my Fibro book. They were trying to help me for a long time with the blurb on the back of the cover, and so that took me over midnight anyway, and then I kept getting upset and I was just like, I think it's better if I actually just go to sleep, have a rest, get up, feel really good, sort my head out, and then share how I did it on this channel, because I think it's really important to share when things go right, but when things are not so right, and to let you know that I have bad days too, because obviously I try and be really positive, but you can't always be positive 24/7, 365 days a year, even if you try. But I mean, even though I was crying, I was still like, you know, I'm still loving my life. Like today, I'm just like, oh, my life's great. I love it, because my mind's changed back again, which is good, you know. I don't like feeling bad in my mind. Like yesterday, I was like, why am I feeling this way? I haven't felt like this way for a long time. What's going on? This isn't me anymore. This is the old me, not the new me. Do you know what I mean? So when you're changing your life, it's quite difficult. So I'm trying to change myself all the time. So when you're trying to change yourself, obviously sometimes your old life tries to pull you back. Like on my Quirky Books TV channel, which I don't actually vlog on as much as I should. You know, I did one about old me versus new me, who will win, and that's sometimes how it goes in life. You know, you've got the old you that is used to certain habits, certain patterns of behavior in the mind. You know, things get triggered from child trauma and things come up, and you get the old you, and then you get the new you who's like, I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in positive life now, not all that trauma, that's gone. This is my life now, moving on. And so basically, you know, you can end up conflicting with yourself a bit for a little while, but I'm back on track now. So I have Snap. Oh, thank you. Glad to be here. Thanks, right back at you. Oh, thanks, Claire. Love you lots. Thank you, my life. And thanks to the other person that's been watching all the way through. I don't know who they are. They are a silent participator. I know there's been a person watching quite a lot lately who's very, very silent on this channel. But I love you, whoever you are. Thank you so much for tuning in as well. And I'm going to conclude it for tonight, but don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. And it's important you hit the bell icon button. So there's a little bell underneath the subscribe button. If you hit that, then you'll get notified as soon as I go live. And then like, it's great because you can come on here pretty much as soon as I go live. I don't know how YouTube gets the thumbnail and the live so quickly, because I get notifications of my own channel come through nowadays. And it's like, I look, it's like, Sandra's live now. So yeah, anyway, lots of love to you both. Lots of love to all of you. And thanks for watching. Until next time, embrace your quirky and each other's, and I'll see you again soon. Take care. Stay ace. Bye. Lovely to see you. Bye, Claire. Bye, my life. Bye, everyone else. Bye. Don't forget a thumbs up.